Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my student. How are you today? I'm fine too, thank you. Okay, for today, our lesson is about procedure text. Do you know procedure text? Okay, let's check it out. Procedure text. What is procedure text? Procedure text is a kind of text that shows a series of order of making something, doing something, or getting somewhere. Jadi, prosedur teks itu adalah teks yang berisi perintah atau langkah-langkah dalam mengerjakan sesuatu. Prosedur text is divided into two. The number one, recipe, and the number two, manual. Jadi prosedur teks itu dibedakan menjadi dua, yaitu resep dan manual. The recipe procedure text, for example, mix ice. Nah, di sini contoh resep dalam prosedur teks itu yaitu membuat es campur. Jadi di sini ada bahan-bahannya, ingredients, and how to make it. Jadi ada bahan-bahannya, kemudian bagaimana cara membuatnya. What are recipe procedure text? It is a part of procedure text, and then it is a list of ingredients and a set of instructions that tell you how to cook something. Ya, ini merupakan apa sih prosedur teks resipi itu? Yaitu merupakan isi langkah-langkah dalam proses membuat atau memasak makanan atau sesuatu. Generic structure of recipe. There is goal or aim. It contains the purpose how to make something. Nah, di sini tujuannya adalah bagaimana cara membuat sesuatu. Biasanya ada di bagian judul teks. And then ingredient. This part describe the element we need to make something. Nah, kalau ini adalah bahan-bahan yang kita butuhkan dalam membuat sesuatu. And then step or method. This part describe the set of instruction. Dan pada bagian ini yaitu langkah-langkahnya untuk membuat sesuatu. And then language feature of recipe. The number one, using simple present time, using adverbial of sequence or using temporal adjective, and then using imperative sentence. For example, boil, add, pour, cut. And using adverb of time to express details of time. For example, 1, 2, 3, first, second, third, at the first, then, next, finally. The purpose of recipe are, it is used to describe how something is made in sequence steps. And then the second, it provides a series of steps in sequence that explain the reader how to make something. And then the communicative purpose of the text is to tell the step or making something. Jadi, tujuan dari teks prosedur teks itu adalah untuk mendeskripsikan langkah-langkah membuat sesuatu secara berurutan. Okay, let's continue second type of procedure text, manual procedure text. 6 steps to washing your hand. Nah, di sini adalah 6 langkah mencuci tangan. What is manual procedure text? It is a part of procedure text. It is a book or pamphlet that contains and then explanation about how something and should be done in sequence steps. Jadi, kalau manual prosedur teks itu adalah sebuah teks berbentuk buku panduan, pamflet yang berisi langkah kerja secara berurutan. Okay. Generic structure of manual. There are 3 generic structure in manual. The first, goal or aim. It contains the purpose of doing or operating something. The second, material. This part describe the tools we need to do, make or operating something. And then the third, instruction. This part describe the set of instruction. Jadi, yang pertama adalah goalnya berisi cara melakukan sesuatu atau mengoperasikan sesuatu. Terus kemudian materialnya itu berisi alat-alat yang dibutuhkan untuk melakukan sesuatu, dan instruksinya adalah menjelaskan melakukan sesuatu. Language feature of manual. Using simple present time, using adverbial of sequence of using temporal adjective, using imperative sentence or command, for example, plug, press, choose, set, turn off. And then using adverb of time to express details of time, for example, 1, 2, 3, first, second, third, at the first, then, next, finally. Jadi, kalau di resipi itu berbeda dengan manual ya. Kalau di manual itu choose, set, turn off, beda dengan yang di resipi. Tetapi dalam using adverb of time to express detail of time sama. The purpose of manual are, it is used to describe how something is done in sequence step. It provides a series of steps in sequence that explain the reader how to do something. And then the last, the communicative purpose of the text is to tell the step of making or doing something. Jadi tujuan dalam teks prosedur manual ini yaitu mendeskripsikan langkah-langkah sesuatu secara berurutan. The vocabularies in the recipe and manuals. In the recipe, cut, pour, boil, blend, slice, steam, fry, fail, add. And then the manual, wash, heat, melt, mix, apply, press, make sure, turn on, tighten. Ini biasanya kata-kata yang digunakan di dalam resipi dan manual. This is sample procedure text recipe. Mix ice, cara membuat es campur. And then manual, 6 steps to washing your hand. Thank you. Okay class, enough. Don't forget to study in your home. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you. Bye-bye. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello my student, how are you today? I'm fine too, thank you. Okay, our lesson for today is about asking and giving opinion. Okay, jadi untuk materi kita hari ini yaitu meminta pendapat atau memberikan pendapat. Jadi dalam bahasa Inggris itu pendapat itu adalah opinion, atau dalam bahasa Indonesia opinion. Okay, this is an expression of asking and giving opinion. Jadi ini adalah beberapa ekspresi yang digunakan dalam asking and giving opinion. Okay, the first, in my opinion, I think. What I mean is, personally, I think, in my experience, according to me, I strongly believe, as far as I am concerned, from my point of view, as I understand, as I see it, I reckon, I am compelled to say, by this I mean, to my mind, would like to point out that, in my humble opinion. Okay, the next, agreeing with an opinion. Jadi, dalam asking and giving opinion itu ada ekspresi ketika kita setuju. Jadi kita gunakan agreeing with an opinion. This is an expression agreeing with an opinion. First, of course, this is absolutely right. I agree with this opinion. I couldn't agree more. I agree with what you are saying. I agree. I never thought of that. Neither do I. That's a good point. I think so too. Okay, and then this is disagreeing with an opinion. Jadi kalau yang ini ketika kita tidak setuju dengan pendapat yang diberikan. Okay, this is an expression disagreeing with an opinion. I am sorry. I don't agree with you. I am not sure. I agree with you. I don't agree with you. I am afraid I have to disagree. I do not believe that. By this I mean, I disagree with you. I think you are wrong. That's not the same thing at all. It is not justified to say so. I'm not convinced that. I cannot say I agree with this, and here's why. Okay. This is example of giving opinion. There is statement, agree and disagree. Jadi ini adalah contoh-contoh ketika kita memberikan opini atau pendapat mengenai statement yang ada di dalam kolom. Okay, for example, the number 1, children below 17 should be given right to drive a motorcycle. Jadi anak-anak di bawah 17 tahun itu boleh diberikan kendaraan untuk menyetir sendiri. Nah, if you agree with opinion, you can answer with I agree with your opinion. If you disagree, I don't agree with you. It is forbidden to let children under 17 to drive a motorcycle. Jadi, saya tidak setuju denganmu. Anak-anak itu tidak boleh di bawah 17 tahun itu tidak boleh menyetir sendiri. Okay, the statement number 2, parents must giving smartphone to their children. And then the next, the novel version of Twilight is better than its film. Instant noodle is good for your health. And the last, smoking should be banned in public places. If you agree with this opinion, you can answer with the column agree. And then if you disagree about this opinion, you can answer using disagree opinion. Oke, jadi ketika kalian setuju dengan pendapat yang ada di statement, kalian bisa gunakan yang di kolom setuju, agree, dan jika kalian tidak setuju, bisa gunakan yang ada di kolom disagree. This is example in dialogue, jadi ini contohnya statement itu dalam bentuk dialog. Oke. Between Anna and Jack. Okay, can you read this example in your home? Okay, enough. Thank you. See you again next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello my students, how are you today? I am fine too. Thank you. Okay. Today we learn about passive voice in English. One is be past participle. Jadi hari ini kita belajar mengenai passive voice ya. The pattern be ditambah past participle. The tenses, the active, and then passive. Jadi ini adalah nanti tenses-tensesnya, dan ini adalah kalimat aktifnya, dan ini adalah kalimat passivenya ya. Okay, the next we are going to be our lesson. The tense is present simple. The active sentence is I write a novel. The passive is a novel is written by me. The next, present continuous. The active is I am writing a novel. The passive sentence is a novel is being written by me. The tenses from past simple. The active sentence is I wrote a novel. The passive sentence is a novel was written by me. Okay, the next tense is past continuous. The active sentence is I was writing a novel. The passive sentence is a novel was being written by. And then the next, the tense is present perfect. The active sentence is I have written a novel. The passive sentence is a novel has been written by me. Okay, and then the next, the tense is past perfect. The active sentence is I had written a novel. And then the passive voice is a novel had been written by me. Okay, and then the next, the tense is future simple. The active is I will write a novel. The passive sentence is a novel will be written by me. Okay, the next, the tense is future be going to. The active sentence is I am going to write a novel. The passive sentence is novel is going to be written. The next, modal. And active sentence is I must write a novel. And the passive sentence is a novel must be written by me. Okay, the next and the last, modal perfect. The active sentence is I should have written a novel. The passive sentence is a novel should have been written by me. Oke, jadi ini adalah tenses-tensesnya untuk hari ini. Terus kemudian active sentence-nya, kalimat aktifnya, kemudian kalimat pasifnya. Yang saya garis merahin itu adalah cara membedakannya secara dari tenses satu ke yang lain. For the next week, answer the question page 110. Jadi, hari ini kalian pahami dulu ya soal-soal atau penjelasan dari materi passive voice-nya. Kemudian untuk minggu depan silahkan kalian jawab pertanyaan dari passive voice mengenai ini, terus kemudian di halaman 110. Oke, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next week and bye-bye.